What's going on, solo leveling family? Welcome back to another solo leveling video. Folks, number one question I keep getting asked is, Payne, what team should I focus on and when and why? Now, I want to cover this because this has been a hot debate for a lot of new players, returning players, existing players, as a matter of fact. And I want to show you guys what teams you should focus on from every stage of the game and why they matter, where you should use them, and then also, of course, the upcoming future teams that we're most likely going to dominate over others. Now, first off, I am going to just mention two things. Number one, a couple new games came out. There's a brand new Bleach game that I'm covering on my channel as well. Bleach Rebirth of Souls, which I'll be playing tomorrow. So I'll be live streaming SLA tomorrow. That and the actual release of the most anticipated game, in my opinion, of 2025, and that actually is the first Berserker Kazan is actually coming out tomorrow as well. The early access is finally here, so you best bet I'm going to be playing that game like crazy. So it's right over here. Okay, so I'm going to pre-download it right now, and we're going to go ahead and start getting into this game tomorrow heavily. So Bleach is going to take a little backseat for now. I'll play it here and there because it's a fighter, but this is going to be coming out. Also, don't forget, guys, real quick, just so everyone is aware, in 2 days, we are going to, or maybe a day and a half during reset, we're going to have the content creator program back up for another season. So if you are a supporter, thank you so much for supporting. If you have not supported and you are looking to support, you can re-support again starting that day. Okay, so make sure, guys, you are joining the supporter program to get yourself all the most recent codes. A code is going to come out right away, practically in a couple days after it releases, and you guys can get your hands on it real quick. All right, now, one last thing I want to mention before we get on with the video is I know a lot of people have been asking me for simulation. I am currently working on it on my free-to-play account to get to 30, and I'll give you guys the actual guide on it. I don't want to do it on my pay-to-win because I don't think it's the same experience. I'm fighting Sun Jinwoo right now on 25, and once I finish 25, I'll jump onto 30, and we'll get that going as soon as possible. Okay, so I promise you guys I will get there, and I'll make sure I do a guide for you on that. Now, let's talk a little bit about something, though, before we move on and talk about the main topic at hand. New players are coming in on a constant basis. I did a reaction to the most recent episode, and it's gangbusters. There's so many players who want to play this game now, which want to get themselves immersed in the world. And the first thing everybody always asks me, hey, Payne, what is the best teams I should build and why and where? So I'm going to make this absolutely as easily clear as possible for everybody now, so we understand what teams are the best teams for what piece of content, where in the game, early, late, middle, etc. And then also, where could they be used outside of just regular WOBL, whether it's POD, Guild Boss, etc. Okay? So I'm going to make this absolutely clear right now from the jump. The fire team is the best team in the game. Now, when I say the fire team, I'm referring to 4 specific units, okay? We are talking about Essel, all right, as number 1, as the core player of the team because of the buff and the debuff that she provides and all the buffs that she provides. Ideally, you want to get her to A4. If you're going to push her to advancement A5, that's perfect. You're set for a very long time with that. So she's, in my opinion, the best breaker because of the debuffs that she brings. The second unit you want to absolutely have on here is going to be Gina. I don't have Gina currently. I will be adding her to my list. Gina will be the next unit. When I build my fire team, Gina is a must-have for that team, okay? Advancement 4 is where you want to stop with her again. Fantastic buffer. A must-have for the fire team, okay? So Essel and Gina, those two are must-haves. Now, because Kanae is not out yet, and I'm waiting for her to come out because she's the best fire unit and also the best damage dealer in the game, period, Kanae is who you want to go for. But if you are desperate to move along with content, Yuseyun is absolutely an impeccable unit that you can use as well, too. So this whole team here, we'll talk about them shortly. The fire team, Gina, Essel, Kanae, and Yuseyun. Kanae, Yuseyun, interchangeable as DPS, whichever one you want to use more, are the best team in the game. Whether you're talking about early game, middle game, late game, the fire team does it all. They are the best team in the game. They used to be the worst team in the game, and the release of Essel and Kanae has just put them over the top, and I mean by a large margin, okay? So make sure you guys understand that, and that's who you're going to focus on if you're looking to be building the best team. Now, there is a caveat to this. The team is expensive. As in, you need A4 to A5, Advancement 4 to Advancement 5, pretty much for every unit for them to function optimally, okay? Now, with that being said, yes, they are expensive, but they will finish every piece of content for you, whether it's Vulcan, even though there's some fire absorb. If you can kill them off fast enough, that won't even activate. Whether it's Baron, whether it's Deimos, their fire team pretty much can annihilate every piece of content in this game. The only other issue with them is they are very squishy. So if you're not good at dodging, or you don't have fast fingers for mechanics, and you're not fully immersed in the dodge system, this team will constantly die on you. Okay, so that's the only downfall to the fire team. But outside of that, by far the best team. Now let's go to the second best team and the safest team in the game right now, and that is going to be the light team. Now the light team is composed of the 3 units you see here: Gunhee, Thomas, and Min, or Cha. Now, the reason why Cha's in here, and she's the OG unit of Global, the first one that was released, is she can actually do insane amount of damage, replacing Thomas to some extent. Thomas is a lot safer of a unit, a lot more damage of a unit when built correctly, but Cha can actually bring the same amount of damage as him, or more sometimes, but obviously is not as durable. Let's use the word durable. He's a tank, right, at the end of the day. So this team here is the safest team, and by safest we mean they're all shield users, which means when you do story modes, when it says don't get hit by 38 times or 31 times the shield, when you have a shield up, it doesn't count towards that, which means you get the most amount of trophies, the safest amount of content complete. And yes, they can't finish every piece of content. I've done it with them, right? On my free to play, if you go back, I finished Vulcan completely to hard mode. I finished Baron plus POS 20, so Proof of Strong 20 with the light team on Baron. And I've also finished hard mode Deimos now. Not top 6,000 or top 3,000, but still finished it after that was complete. So the light team essentially took me all the way. That was my investment. That was the investment. And the reason why I invested so heavily is because at the time, Kanae did not exist, and Thomas was the best DPS. Now, knowing what I know and being the veteran that I am, the fire team who I would go for. But all new players and returning players, it is a safe bet to go for the light team. Now, in terms of usability, Gunhee can stop at A3, much better at A5, but A3 is incredible for him. A4 is even better, so A3 a little bit cheaper. Thomas A5 ideally, because you want him to have the most amount of damage. And Min, honestly, at A1 gives you one of the best buffs in the game, which is critical hit rate up plus critical damage up for the unit. So very, very cheap in comparison, and you get a couple of free Cha units doing the formidable opponent, or combatant, I should say, that little series of trainings that you have to do. Plus you get some of her weapons for free, and not to mention as well, they sell like a $2.79 package for her where you can get another copy. So super cheap team, very reliable, and can completely finish all content, but of course not quite as strong as the fire team. Okay, so if you're looking for raw strength and damage, fire team still wins that out, but safety and durability and comfort, the light team definitely takes the cake. Now there's a team that goes kind of in the middle of all of that, and it's probably, again, I would say not the safest team, but the team that can push you the furthest in terms of content. All right, and I'm talking about early to middle game content. End game content right now, not so much. All right, and I'll explain that shortly. And that's the win team. So the win team is comprised of the following units. I'll show you guys them real quick, and then it's going to be Mirai. Actually, it's Hansimi, Mirai, and then of course we have Goto. Now Goto just got released, right? So we're going to put Goto in here. Now Goto is the best breaker in the game, so anyone who's looking to get the best animations and the best breaker in the game, Goto fits that bill perfectly. He is an absolute monster when it comes down to breaking. Where Goto needs to be pushed is about A4, okay? So A4 and you're good, so advancement 4 for him, and you've got a pretty optimized Goto at the time. A5, you're breaking faster, you're doing more damage, obviously, right? So the further you push him, the better. Now, Mirai is still by far one of the best damage dealers in the game, but she is a glass cannon. If you don't understand the term glass cannon, that means she gets sneezed on, she'll die, but she will dish out an insane amount of damage. The only problem with Mirai is the fact that she does require the advancement 5 to really see the full potential, so you will have to push her to advancement 5. And also the beauty of her though is you don't need that much crit hit rate or crit hit damage because she brings so much of that to the table, making the artifact setup a lot more simplified for you. So Mirai, absolutely a must-have here. And then the last unit I mentioned was Hansimi, or Hands in My Pants as I like to call her. And the reason why she's so useful is because of what she brings to the table. She increases wind damage, she increases attack, plus she removes any type of debuffs on the ground, such as Kaisel when you fight him, and he removes MP with his ground attacks. That's no longer a factor. And she also increases healing, or she does healing, plus she also does MP recovery, which is super important for Mirai. She is the ultimate pinnacle for all support units. Now that team right there is the ultimate team to finish Vulcan and Baron. They're the best team to finish Vulcan and Baron. They do the most amount of damage to those things because they're all wind elemental weakness. But the problem with this team is where they stop off is going to be Deimos. Deimos is strong against wind. So if your primary focus is going to be, hey, I want to build a team, I always say the wind team should be your backup team. Fire or light, and then wind as backup. Or if you want to play it safe and that's where you're stuck on and that's what you want to focus on, you don't care about Deimos, which you should, because obviously Deimos drops the core breakers. I always put the wind team as a backup team over anything else, and they are in fact my backup team. So my light team is my number one team, and then my wind team is my backup team. You can see my mirror is A7, my hunt team is A3. I don't have Goto, but my Wu here is A4. Now a lot of people ask the question, is Wu reliable enough to keep? In comparison to Goto, there's no comparison. Goto is 10 times better than Wu. But if you need a breaker, he's reliable enough to do that job for you. He just won't be as good. So those are the ultimate teams right now in the game. Fire team will take you beginning, middle, and you'll dominate everything. But you have to also survive, right? And they do require quite a bit more enhancements. Light team is the safest team. They'll take you from beginning, middle to end. Again, does require a little bit less investment, but they won't do as much damage. All right. And then the wind team being your backup team or your safest team to get you through to Baron. Good mixed bag, good survivability, great damage, good balance, of course. And those are the three main teams. Now, when it comes down to the future teams, we all know that it's shifting over to water. Now, if you want to start building for future teams, you can. Mei Lin will still be one of the best buffers in the game by far. So Mei Lin, definitely worth building. That is where I would actually stop with water, because Saren is coming out as a breaker, and we're most likely getting the Anniversary Cha from the Multiverse, which is going to be a water DPS. So start with Mei Lin, and that is as far as you need to go with water. Nothing else will matter. Now, when it comes down to building up your team for POD, you're going to need at least 2 good teams for Power of Destruction. My Power of Destruction here has always 2 elements. So for example, in this case, my 2 elements are there. So the 2 teams I talked about, the wind and light, are perfect here. Also great additions to this team. Mei Lin, Isla is amazing, of course, for a buffer, and also Gina, right? Gina's great for this. Or even Choi. Choi's a fantastic unit for POD because he does the defense down. Or Anna, if you need to have a backup DPS with a breaker, not a breaker, sorry, breaker and a defense down. Anna Ruiz SR unit is actually a decent unit to use. Lee Bora's fantastic here as well too. Okay, so those are off units you're going to build for POD. And then for Guild Boss, of course, you're going to run, depending on your setup and what you have, you're going to most likely run the meta setup team, and that is usually this team here with the exclusion, in my case, of Wu. You would put Goto in here, and I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you the reason why. The fire team would be here, Kanae, Esso, and Gina. The light team will actually most likely either be removed now with the new introduction of the new wind weapon if you go for it, and your wind team will actually take over. It'll be Goto as position 1, Hansimi and Mirai as position 2, and then this team will be comprised of Lee Bora, Choi, and then Cha. Or Thomas, or whoever you decide you want to put into this last third slot, okay? So those are the teams you want to set up there. So that is it right there, guys. Those are the ultimate teams in the game right now that you want to build based on beginning, middle, and end. Simulation, hopefully, guys, will be coming out this week. A lot of live streams happening, so please remember to go join. I'm so excited to be playing these new games, plus SLA along the way. And I want to say I love you guys. I want to thank you guys for all the support and love you guys have done. We're already at almost at 102,000 subscribers. So please remember to like, subscribe, and get ready for the new content creator program. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.